Hey everyone, Sleepy Reader here. I'm gonna try to do it quickly. It's hard to be quick in these things. Try to review quickly three comic books: Hulk Smash Avengers, Dial H, and those are two number ones, and Action Comics number 9, starring the new Black Superman. So, the Black Superman of Earth 23, whichever Earth that is, I haven't been there yet. Hulk Smash Avengers, I really wanted to like this. I've liked this artistic team before, Tom DeFalco writing, Ron Frenz and Sal Buscema putting the art together. And not too long ago, digitally, I read this great digital comic that they did. Always wants my ID. One of the annoyances. Superman Beyond issue 0 that they did was really great. Unfortunately, they're not the ones doing the rest of Superman Beyond. But they did a fantastic job on the art and writing on that. Nice mix of old school and a more modern touch. But here they go purely old school, circa probably 1983 or something. Even though it's supposed to be 1962 or 63. It's a untold adventure of the Avengers trying to re-recruit the Hulk into the Avengers sometime after Avengers number 8. And it's very pedestrian, just nothing surprising at all. No clever, references back to the 60s. Just a very standard story where the Avengers try and then they have to fight the Enchantress and the Executioner and the Hulk. And they have a fight, a sort of uninspired standard battle scene of superheroes. It looked like a Sal Buscema comic book from the 80s when he probably was not doing his best work. I don't mean to put it down too much because the artwork's fine, but it's just nothing real exciting. My expectations were too high. I'll probably try the next issue. Might be interesting to see the next issue. Will skip to some other era where the Hulk was fighting the Avengers. I kind of hoping for just some fun, with the Hulk and some simpler times, and some action. So we'll see. Another one where my expectations probably affected a lot of how I responded to it was Dial H. I remember the really old Dial H for Heroes. I must have read reprints of them at some point. Just this colorful, fun kind of kids comic. Now this new take, as people have pointed out, is just very Vertigo in feel. A lot of dark grays and browns and blacks and dark greens, and about kind of dreary, unhappy characters. And it's okay as a Vertigo kind of comic book. I noticed it was edited by Karen Berger, who I believe is the editor-in-chief at Vertigo, so maybe it was originally intended to be a Vertigo comic. It doesn't even have the feel of something that can go on for very long. It seems like, one story arc and we're done with that idea, at least done this way. There's no sense of a big back story or a mythology of the Dial H or anything, or a whole world being built for us here. Just some interesting bits. The artwork's kind of cool. There's a really cool scene. The first of our imaginary or heroes that comes from Dialing H. Oops, where did it go? Is Boy Chimney, who looks a lot like The Mask, Jim Carrey, or Dark Horse Comics. And there's some cool scenes, like where out of smoke he creates these sort of demon animals that are going after the bad guys. But you got very standard mobster bad guys, and just mildly interesting two heroes that are caused by the dialing of H. The other one's Captain Lachrymose. I thought he was a little more interesting looking. So anyway, it felt like minor Neil Gaiman or something, which is fine enough. But because the author, China Miéville's a big star of science fiction and fantasy, I thought there might be something more interesting going on here. I'll probably try one more issue, and then I'll probably just let it go. But we'll see. Action Comics number 9, I came in with very low expectations. I had dropped Action Comics quite a while back. Just didn't feel like it was going anywhere interesting, except for that very first issue. And then saw a fairly negative review of this, but somehow piqued my interest with the Black Superman and the alternate Earths, and the Black Superman who's also the President of the United States, fighting a kind of evil robot Superman from another universe. But I can see why Minutia Man gave it a pretty negative review, because Grant Morrison, the writer, is just all over the place here with his ideas, and they're not totally clear. He doesn't focus on things long enough for you to care a whole lot. We've got an alternate Clark and Lois and Jimmy from another universe, and they've created an evil Superman by accident through their machine that they let a corporation use. What their machine does exactly, I don't know. Something about them all imagining together. So there's kind of the fascist robot Superman versus the Muhammad Ali looking Superman of this alternate Earth. It's a little intriguing to imagine a Superman who's much more proactive, who's solving political problems and seems pretty unbeatable, but more sort of cool and admirable in some ways than the Superman of our world. But also kind of wonder, is there some kind of political statement from a I believe Scottish writer about the United States politics. Makes me think of when the Swedish Nobel Prize Committee gave Barack Obama a Nobel Prize before he'd ever even done anything, just in their fantasy that a black president could, solve the world's problems. I voted for Obama. It was great that there's a black president, but he's just another president as far as I'm concerned. Not a Superman. So anyway, maybe I shouldn't have got political, but that seemed to be a natural connection there. I kind of enjoyed it, maybe mostly for the art by Gene Ha and just because it's kind of unusual, but I think I won't go back to picking up Action Comics. So there are my reviews. I think next time I'm going to try to take a look at Commandees number 1 through 20. It might take me a bit, but that's next on my plate. Look forward to everyone else's reviews and comments, and if I don't already subscribe to you, send me a personal message or leave me a comment, and I will subscribe if you're doing comics videos. Bye, everyone.